All right, you are here because you just want to know what pens to use when you're trying to learn brush calligraphy. I don't know how many things you've Googled so far and how many convoluted answers you've found, but I know there's lots. And so in this video, I'm just going to give you the no BS version, the exact 2 pens that I recommend using if you're just starting out with brush calligraphy. By the way, I'm Becca with the Happy Ever Crafter, and I teach this stuff day in and day out. So at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly where you can go to join my free course and get all of this stuff for free. But first, I do want to tell you about those 2 pens you're wondering about, because that's why we're here. So I will tell you exactly which pens to use, but first I have something sort of controversial to say. Size does matter. Okay, no, but really, with brush pens, the size of the tip on your brush pen really does matter. The general rule is that the smaller the tip on the brush pen, the easier it is to use. So just remember that rule as we go along, okay? Because with that said, here are the 2 pens I recommend. My first recommendation is the Tombow Fudenosuke, and my second recommendation is the Tombow Dual Brush Pen. If you take the tops off of each of these and you look at them side by side, you can tell that one is really a lot bigger than the other. So this one, the Tombow Fudenosuke, is considered a small tip, and this one, the dual brush, is considered a large tip. You'll often see calligraphy worksheets scaled for either small tips or big tips, or small pens or big pens, however it's worded. And this is what they mean. So usually you don't want to use a big pen on sheets that are scaled for small pens because clearly they are very different in size. The Fudenosuke is my number 1 recommendation, and it's the best small pen recommendation for beginners. Why? Because it's small and it's hard tipped, which means it's less flexible. Remember that rule from earlier where I said that the smaller and less flexible it is, the easier it will be to use? So that's what I'm talking about when we're looking at this pen. It's got a really small tip and it's flexible, but it's not super like flimsy, and so it makes it easier to use. I recommend this pen to everyone, and I use it like 99% of the time in my own work. So I buy these in bulk, and I actually provide these pens in my workshops. Here's how it looks in action. The dual brush is also by the same brand, Tombow, and it's my number 2 recommendation for beginners. Why? Well, I rank this pen number 2 because by nature, it's a larger tip and it's harder to use. So it's just tougher for beginners to get a grasp on because it's bigger and more flexible. However, it's still a really great pen to learn with. It's high quality, it comes in lots of different colors, and it's a totally reasonable price. So if you prefer big pens over small pens, this is a great option. Here's how it looks in use. One interesting thing that I've noticed as a trend in my classes is that sometimes lefties prefer the larger tipped brush pens. So if you're left-handed, that might be an interesting way for you to get started, is to try the bigger one first. But if you look at the writing from the dual brush that I just did versus the Fudenosuke at the beginning, you can see that there's a huge size difference in how big I was writing with each of these pens, and that's just the nature of the size of the tip. Honestly, I usually recommend to beginners that they buy both of these pens because you will never know if you like small pens or big pens better if you don't try them. So if you can, try and get one of each. But if you really only can get one pen and need a recommendation, I would definitely recommend the Fudenosuke. Now, there is a ton more to know about this. I just wanted to make this a short and sweet video about the two pens that you're wondering about. But if you want to know more, like how to hold them, how to use them, how to actually write in calligraphy, I have a free course that covers all of that, and I'd love to have you in it. So if you want to check that out, you can find it here, or it's linked down in the description down below, or you just go straight to showmeyourdrills.com, and I'll see you over there. Oh, and the very last thing I want to say before we hop off is that if you can't get any of these tools, like if those two pens are not findable, is that a word, in your area, or if you can't order them online, you can honestly just start with whatever you have. So if you have a pencil lying around, check out this video. It's one of my most popular videos ever, and it teaches you how to get started right away, even with just a pencil.